I'm not putting up with it. Come on. You think she's a hot mess and you can't manage her, then someone else
I want her to be better.
And no other kid was a hot mess.
They were all.
Okay.
Some of them didn't even take it.
Could you tell their parents in front of their kids that their kids were hot messes?
Every single one of them was a
Why
hot
do you
mess.
always pick on mine?
Abby wants to abandon the original Dance Moms to form a new team, but that is only the second most outrageous thing about this episode. The most outrageous thing is that the moms learn that Abby could be going to jail, and that raises the drama to the absolute max. And here is how it all starts.
Time we were in LA. LA makes Abby crazy. Last year we had our worst record we've ever had because of her. Is it happening all over again?
Ooh, what could be wrong? Why is Abby being all shifty? Does it have to do anything to do with any potential legal troubles she might have? Well, we will find out soon. But before that, Melissa decides to stand up for her kid and face Abby head on.
Well, I think she sees it.
I do. I'm her mother. I'm allowed
That
to
goes back to the whole reason is why doesn't she fix it? I want her to realize that it needs fixed.
No. Last year, the moms kept yelling at me because I didn't stick up for Mackenzie.
There is no way that Mackenzie's gonna do that part. Maddie,
You've been her teacher, so you know her strengths.
but the weaknesses that she had at 8 and 9 should not be the same week.
But does that stop Abby from going hard on Mackenzie? No, it does not, because that is definitely not Abby's way of doing things. And then Abby drops a massive surprise on the moms. They are now old news, and Abby needs a new crop of girls.
I'm going to form a new team. I have looked at minis all over the country. I liked my minis. I'm forming a new mini team. I want girls between the ages of 6 and 8. They're fresh, eager, and moldable. And besides, twice as many teams means twice as many wins here in LA.
Why bring in minis now? Are you saying that these kids are washed up?
I need to keep doing what I do.
Yeah, the moms did not take that well at all. They hate that Abby is bringing up a new team, but Abby does not care about their opinions at all. And then we learn why Abby has been acting extra crazy all morning. The truth is that she just might go to jail.
Did you guys see on Good Morning America? The news is going crazy over Abby.
What?
Abby's been acting extra crazy these past couple days, and in light of today's shocking news, I think I know.
Abby Lee Miller, in serious legal drama, is charged with concealing assets and fraud. If found guilty, Miller could face a $250,000 fine.
The Abby Lee Miller commit tax fraud? No, she could never do that. Sarcastically, that is insane. But the moms really don't care about whether Abby goes to jail or not. They only care that this case would distract her from her #1 responsibility, which is training their kids. The moms are also shocked that Abby does not seem to care about the news.
Walks and saunters through the door as if it's a normal day. Not a tear, she seems normal, as if no news has even touched her ear.
We need to talk to her about what's going on. It's awkward.
Well, we need to ask her how she wants us
Right.
to address it when we are asked about it.
Right.
Jill does not think Abby is guilty, but she thinks the media backlash will affect her kids. None of these moms really care about Abby doing jail term at all, which is probably just them paying Abby back in her own coin, because that is all she cares about as well. But all of that drama does not stop Abby from getting on Melissa's nerves.
Abby, why'd you call Mackenzie a smartass? Why?
Because she's trying to contradict me.
No, she
about-
said I thought it was, I wanted to stay at home and eat chips because that's what I thought it was too. You don't have to call her smartass.
Well, but you didn't hear the way she said it.
Okay, but I don't think you should call her smartass.
I'll never call her anything again.
She said other kids would just remember it in 2 minutes. She's like, okay, well, we have 20 seconds done.
Classic Abby, always making kids cry. Isn't that why we all love her? Sarcastically. It is competition day, and Abby is her usual, well, she is her usual Abby self. The moms try to get Abby to talk about her tax fraud issue, but she basically just ignores them with the weirdest reply you have ever heard.
There's things going on. I think maybe you should discuss with the kids because I don't know what to tell them.
Well, I'm not dating someone anymore. That's fine. I'll let them know.
She can't talk about it because she's in denial. She kind of owes some sort of explanation. I guess she hasn't reached that point of what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Do we pack up and go home?
We committed to stay here for a very long time
And leave our family.
and leave our families. We're not going anywhere.
A lot of the mothers have threatened to get Abby in court, but this time, it finally happens, and Abby was served. Now Abby is about to get sued, and she cannot believe that one of the mothers would take her down like this. And here is how that happened.
Yeah, I have some legal papers to get to her.
I can't have this in my business, Scott. Kelly's lawsuit is official. These women aren't like they were in the 50s. I just had an officer of the court walk through my studio and serve me with papers in my business.
That's ridiculous. Kelly just wants to give back.
Abby wants to make a statement, but Holly wants her to just focus on the competition. Of course, Abby starts with the pyramid, and Mackenzie is at the bottom with Kalani at the top of the pyramid. The team is traveling to Detroit this weekend, and they might go face-to-face with Jeanette and her BDA dancers. But here is what one of the mothers thinks of the group routine.
How ironic that Abby gets served papers, and our group routine is about women being in jail for doing something wrong. What message is she sending you?
What happened before we came here?
Abby was served, with a lawsuit today in her place of business in front of all kinds of people. It's the Kelly and Paige thing.
Now, how did Abby take this?
She was pissed.
It looks like Holly has a huge issue with Kira, and she is not scared to trash that issue. The other mothers are on her side too. They think that Kira is being babied by Abby, and they let her know that they are not happy with it.
But what do you want me to? You want me to go down there and say, "Oh, this isn't correct. You need to punish me"?
Everything's fun and games for you guys, and it must be nice.
You're not that special.
I never said I was.
Well, your actions definitely show that. And
Well,
you're
I'm
not.
sorry that you feel
No,
that
don't
way.
feel sorry. It's a very cowardly way to act. You know what? In some ways, I really do wish that Christy was still here. Because at least if Christy was here, she would own all of her actions.
Is it just me, or is all of this not just that big of a deal? Anyway, it is Dance Moms, and the drama is always to the max. The truth is that Holly feels that Abby has favorites, and she is not happy about that at all. But then Abby makes things worse by being sneaky with the photographer taking their headshots.
I gotcha. Ready?
I can't believe what I am hearing. Abby just said that Kalani, Mackenzie, and Maddie are the only ones that are going to book jobs in LA. And I would say something right now, but I don't want to jeopardize Kendall's headshots.
So she basically abandoned the headshots of the girls she did not like. Anyway, it's his competition time, and the Abby Lee girls are confident that they would be able to beat Jeanette and the BDA team. In fact, here is what she thinks of them.
Stalker and her posse, none of them have I ever seen. These kids, a bunch of nobodies.
I am appalled. I didn't expect the silence. I expected all the girls to do what they normally.
Jeanette cannot understand why Abby is behaving so cold towards her, so she tries to go to see Abby to squash their beef. And of course, that goes just as well as you might expect, given what we know about Abby and her world-famous temper.
I don't want.
You shouldn't be in here, and I don't care what you want. It's not about what you want. I don't know who you are, but you shouldn't be in this dressing room.
I brought her in here with me.
I know, but why are you in here? You own the school suddenly?
Abby does not care about anything, not even her lawsuit. She just wants to crush her enemies. Well, let us see just how well she does at this competition. Does she get the last laugh, or does she get eggs on her face?
Maddie beat Kalani. Maddie's still my #1 girl, but she's second. Look at this competition. It's a joke.
Yeah. How did Ava beat Kalani?
This is rigged, and I will say that.
Gina does not have this competition rigged. I do not think there's a setup. She wants to blame everyone else. Abby, be accountable for yourself.
The Abby Lee Dance Company lost at the Nationals in the most shocking twist ever seen on Dance Moms, and it is the most outrageous scene you have ever seen on this show. And here is how that chaotic episode starts.
This year, 15 victories out of 25 competitions. Now that's 10 competitions that the group did not win. The odds are not betting odds. I'm not gonna go to the racetrack and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna bet on that pony. No, that horse should be taken out back and shot.
What a classy thing to say to a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds. Abby, sarcastic, really good job. Abby also really has it in for another dance studio called BDA, and that is probably because Abby turned away the daughter of the owner of that studio for being too tall. Now Abby has Nia and Kalani's mom fight over who gets the second solo at Nationals, and it is chaotic.
I think it should go to Nia.
No.
It was head to head. It's been head to, that was the challenge the entire time.
When you're knocked out, you're knocked out. Like, I took it for what it was worth.
I agree with that, but I think in this instance, I don't agree because it was a competition judged by kids. As Kalani's mom, I do feel that it was not a fair battle as far as a kid judging.
Well, that is a good argument, and Abby accepts it. Nia gets the solo. The group routine Abby wants is called Waiting Room, and on the other part of town, Jeanette of BDA wants to win Nationals too with her group of dancers who are mostly Abby Lee rejects. Here is how Abby's training for her group number goes.
The group number, it's more than a dance routine. I would call it a piece. There's an emotional range. There's interaction between the dancers. Maddie is playing our lead. It's heavy. Can she pull it off? Let's hope so, because she's the only choice I have. Just technically, When everybody hits the floor and the left foot is draped over down stage left, their feet are so sickle you would chop them off. I'm literally going right now to get flooring.
It really does not look like Abby is giving her all to nationals. This will probably reflect badly on the performance of the team at the competition, but we can always trust Abby never to blame the girls for not winning the competition despite not training them well enough, right?
Hi. Can I take the girls up?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start with solos today.
So where's Abby?
She's not here yet. She had a bunch of stuff to do today. Picking up that, running here, doing that, so. All right, come on, guys.
Abby needs to be here. How fair is that to our kids who've been away from their homes for months, who've worked their entire season for this day? Not to mention that BDA has some really great dancers. They're well trained.
It is true. Abby Lee is wrong for discounting the BDA because they are a really good group and they can really hurt Abby Lee if they want to. The fact that they have revenge on their mind because Abby rejected their lead dancer is even more reason why things could go really wrong here for Abby.
It's time at Nationals. Abby stripped her ALDC jacket in front of all her friends and her teammates. Ava was kicked off the team at the biggest competition.
Thank you.
This is revenge. You have to make it bigger, okay? So let's show her how much you've grown, how much better of a dancer, and how much her taking that jacket off you pushed you.
That is probably not the best motivation for a kid, but at least Jeanette is not making her kids cry. Despite all of this, Abby is still missing. It is Nia's first solo at Nationals, but Abby is nowhere to be seen. The choreography assistant had to teach the girls alone. Anyway, it is Nationals, and it is time to see what effect Abby's disappearance will have. First, we have the solo from the BDA. Abby says that was awful. Well, we will now see who wins and who loses. Both groups have their group dance, and it is time for the judge to announce the winner. Abby is so annoyed by the announcement that she walks out with her crew and does not even wait to hear who the winner is.
She's second. How is she second? Who beat her?
And in first place, the myth of the mermaid, Ava.
The girls, we need to walk out. I'm done. It's embarrassing.
I was just shocked.
Moving target, Broadway Dance Academy.
Jill threatens to take Kendall out of the Abby Lee Dance Company, and she nearly has her way too. In the same episode, JoJo almost suffocates because Abby placed her in a huge plastic bubble without air to dance. The episode starts with Maddie missing practice because she had to go shoot a movie, but this on the back of a huge loss by Abby's team.
I'm disgusted. That means I'm going back to where it all started. We're going back to the beginning. It's about technique, and it's about challenging these kids to push themselves every weekend for a competition. That's what it's all about. All right, stop, let's go. Come on, I want everyone to stop fooling around. Yes, here we are. This is the 6th year in a row. I have told you children, you're only as good as your last performance.
Yeah, trust Abby to make a million mountains out of a very basic mountain. Yes, losing a competition is a big deal, but it is not that big of a deal. Because of this huge loss, Abby says none of the girls can do any extracurricular activities, but somehow that does not include Golden Child Maddie because she is shooting a movie. And what does Abby say to that?
She's a dancer, and that's why she got the part. From watching her solos from the Abby Lee Dance Company. That's where it started.
I've had people all summer long calling, wanting to work with Kendall, but I had to turn them down because of my loyalty to Abby. That's You know what you're missing, Abby? More than anybody in this room, Kendall and myself have been loyal to you.
Oh, please don't do that.
Well,
That's
but that
not
is the truth.
Of course, Kendall has to be the one to stop her mom from causing a scene. Because if there is one thing dance moms can do, it is to bring drama to dance moms. The pyramid this week has everyone on the bottom of the pyramid. And then during practice, Abby gets into a huge fight with Kendall's mother.
She was in ballet class last night. She was a mess. She was a hot mess.
Let's go, Kendall. I'm not putting up with it. Come on, let's go. If you think she's a hot mess and you can't manage her, then someone else
I want her to be better.
And no other kid was a hot mess.
They were all were.
Okay.
Some of them didn't even take it.
Could you tell their parents in front of their kid that their kids were hot messes?
Every single one of them was a
Why
hot
do you
mess.
always pick on
I
mine?
didn't.
That is a lot. Kendall really does not want Jill to argue with Abby, but you kind of get the sense that Jill never wants to be in the background. She always wants to be part of the action. Maybe she wants to be a bigger star than her daughter? Anyway, on the other side of town, Abby's biggest opponents, the BDA, are cooking up something insane.
So Jeanette posted, going to show him how it's done. We'll be waiting, smiley face, ...
Oh, they're definitely doing the waiting room. Definitely.
It's gonna be their spin on the waiting room. Our waiting room dance was amazing at National.
I feel that Abby has just missed the mark on this waiting room because I don't think that she dug deep enough. I don't think that she has much sympathy or empathy. And I think the difference with this routine is that I have that connection.
Jeanette really believes that she can turn Abby's frown even more upside down by taking Abby's idea at Nationals and then use the idea to win at the next competition. If the BDA wins with this routine, it would be the biggest slap on Abby's face. But Abby's dance isn't even going well.
There's a lot. They're doing a lot in that. They're rolling her, they're unzipping it. That's a lot.
But it was at the right spot. Like, what if it's underneath? They're gonna have to
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Competition is tomorrow, and this group dance needs a lot of help. I mean, this is a giant hamster ball that the girls have to manipulate and move and dance around.
Phew! That was such a huge risk Abby took with her dancers. If the girls had not opened the plastic nylon, she might have actually suffocated. But those are the risks Abby takes to win. But will that risk be enough? We will see. But before that, the BDA almost got disqualified because they could not set up their props quickly enough.
Is someone timing this for real?
What's going on? I'm going to disqualify them. You're holding up the competition.
Hi, excuse me.
This is typical Abby. Because BDA won Nationals last year, Abby's making a personal mission to find any technicality or rule to keep BDA from dancing today.
Judges eventually gave in and then allowed the BDA to dance. Abby wants their points to be removed for their lateness, and the judge agrees. So the BDA has to put their whole life on the line to get this routine to work. And here is how it goes.
They hit it emotionally, they hit it technically, they hit it every way. And that's the way it should have been done in the beginning. I want to win.
Whoa, what a performance. But will it be enough to give the BDA the win? Will Abby get egg on her face back to back? Will she be disgraced again? Let us see.
Next year, and we have to redeem ourselves.
So second place in team group goes to entry number 29, the waiting room. First place for team group, the girl in the plastic bubble.
Winning the competition against BDA is kind of like a payback.